Hello viewers and welcome to part 11 of the Clueless Cat does Final Fantasy XIV story playthrough as per requested by Twitch viewers. More bad monotone dialogue incoming now where we left off. Just finished Stone Vigil, saved the Enterprise, and Sid still can't remember Jack. How I've longed for the more agreeable climate of the Twellswood. Yet I will not deny the Holy See had its charms. Endless detours aside, our Ashgardian jaunt proved quite an adventure. Alas, our work is far from done. We still have an airship to repair and a primal to slay. No rest for the heroic, eh? Yeah, not you. Into the eye of the storm. Sid appears to be deep in thought. It calms me to look at her. It's as though I've been reunited with a part of me I never knew was missing. Hardly surprising you did design and build her. I bear good news. The Seedseers have granted our request to house the Enterprise. We may take as long as we require to repair her. Of course, it would be rank folly to take one moment more than we require. Garuda, lest you forget, grows stronger by the hour. If we are to have any hope of wresting this benighted realm from her talons, it must needs be soon. Though I'm no expert on the working of airships, it seems plain to me that the Enterprise suffered much from her time in the wilderness. Am I not correct, Sid? You are. Frankly, it's a miracle she carried us this far. As you know, the Howling Eye is encircled by a raging tempest, apt to turn proud trees to matchwood. Our battle will end before it begins if the Enterprise cannot weather the storm. Given time, I believe I can fully repair her. But if this tempest is as fearsome as you say, even that may not be enough. Confound it. There must be a way to brave the fury of the elements. The elements, but of course, that's it. We work upon the element itself, using the power of a corrupted crystal. We could clear a path through the storm and spare the Enterprise a battering. I see. You propose to utilize the properties of a crystal to alter the elemental aspect of the barrier. It seems so childishly simple. In retrospect, you are a child. Though, mayhap not to you, Amber, we speak of the manifestations of over-respected ether that can be found throughout Eorzea. Since the calamity disrupted the land's etheric current, such crystals have become comparatively commonplace. Which has been a cause of great woe, as they are known to warp etheric energies, including those of living organisms. The point is, we could theoretically use a corrupted crystal to convert the wind-aspected ether comprising Garuda's barrier into an ether of another aspect, one she cannot control. With certain modifications, Enterprise should be able to deliver us to the Howling Eye in comfort, however hard Garuda blows. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. All this rests upon our ability to procure a crystal with the necessary properties. Have you any idea where we might acquire one? No, but I know a man who might, a scholar by the name of Lambertian, who resides in Camp Drybone. Strange as it may sound, I met him during my time at the church. Well, Marquis met him, I suppose. Whether out of pity or for want of a more willing listener, he would talk to me for hours at a time about his etheric studies. Corrupted crystals being his pet subject, it was a result of these conversations that poor Marquis was observed to possess an uncommon knack for theoretical science. Amber, I need you to return to Thanalin and seek out the scholar. Sid and I will set about repairing the Enterprise in your absence. You got it. Why yes, I'm Professor Lambertian. Beg pardon, you wish to hear about my research on corrupted crystals? Truly? Well, nothing would give me greater pleasure than to discuss my work with a fellow woman of science. No. Sealed with science, Professor Lambertian is about to show you something you will never forget but will want to. Ah, so rare it is to find fellow intellectuals in this region. 'Tis even rare to find one capable of comprehending the nature of corrupted crystals. Come to think of it, there was another, a hermit to whom the church had given sanctuary. Curious fellow. Unsociable, rather daft at first impression, yet possessed of an amazing affinity toward the scientific pursuits. But to the matter at hand, did you say you wished not to conduct field observations but to harvest a corrupted crystal? Egads, woman, at least take the necessary precautions so you do not suffer from exposure to its harmful energies. I'm beginning to wonder if you've sufficient qualifications to handle such hazardous materials. Still, your ignorance is somehow endearing. Luckily for you, I have precisely the means by which these inherent dangers may be averted. Simply store the crystal you seek within this warded pot to protect yourself from its deleterious effects. Though I suppose you will be bombarded with its energy until you have placed it within the vessel. Well, perhaps it shall motivate you to work quickly. In any case, take the pot to Hahasako, a student of mine monitoring the flow of ether at Highbridge. Explain to him your quest and he shall instruct you in the finer points of crystal harvesting. How many times must I be made to explain myself? I am not contemplating suicide, you imbecile. I have chosen this precise position to perform scientific measurements. Have a worded plot. What have we here? A containment vessel? Why, this is the handiwork of Professor Lambertian. You thieving knave, I shall call for the... Oh, you say the man himself lent it to you? Then you must have sought me out per his instruction, which means he believes me experienced enough to expound upon his explanations. At last, the recognition I so rightfully deserve. No. With utmost care, Hasako is trying very hard to contain his excitement and is failing. Oh, fabjoyous day, Kaluha, Kalei. That I should be chosen to guide this woman. Yes, I, Hahasako, greatest of Professor Lambertian's pupils, shall see that you successfully quarry your quarry. Your timing is impeccable, in fact, for I was just preparing to procure corrupted crystals from the burning wall for my personal research. There, the devastating destruction caused by the calamity has blessed us with a bounty of sublime specimens. But something tells me that naught but a perfect peace will satisfy your high standards, in which case you must needs descend to the deepest depths. Amidst the flowing waters and the murderous Mirrorites lies the most fantastic formation I have found thus far. Take this highly advanced researcher's tool and use it to separate a small fragment from the large cluster. Place it within the warded pot and bear it back to me for inspection. The path which leads from Burgundy Fall to the base of the burning wall is treacherous and terrifying, but advance with appropriate caution and you shall surely survive. Place is a bit of a maze. Just have to follow the path and you'll eventually get down. Unfortunately, no, you cannot jump just all the way down. I wish you could. Crystal! Smash. Collect. Return to the puntable. I see you've come galumphing back. Have you the crystal then? Yup. What a prodigiously large and lovely crystal. Professor Lambertian will doubtlessly chortle with joy when you present it to him in person. Oh, and upon your return, do remember to recount how I helped you with your harvesting. No. I would like to punch you off the edge, though. Thump. My keen scholar's senses tell me that you've obtained a corrupted crystal. Am I right? If you would grant me a moment to examine the crystal. Ah, it is as you desired, a corrupted crystal overflowing with wind-aspected ether. Remind me, for what purpose did you intend to use this crystal again? What? To breach a barrier comprised of wind-aspected ether? Oh dear. That may prove problematic, as this crystal would only serve to strengthen the barrier. I suppose I am at fault for not inquiring as to your objectives from the start. Had I known your intent, I would never have sent you to Hahasako. But what is science if not trial and error? And can you truly say that this failure has taught us nothing? Think, woman. You now understand the methods necessary to safely collect a corrupted crystal. You will doubtless have no difficulty doing so once more. What's more, the crystal you collected can serve as an invaluable resource for the ethereal studies conducted by the students of Baldician. You've heard of them? Well, I don't mean to boast, but I have a professional relationship with the organization. Not as equals, of course. I would never be so bold as to claim that level of expertise. Are you alright? Your eyes seem to have glazed over for a moment. 'Cause you're boring. Anyway, I shan't keep you from your task. You've still a corrupted crystal to find. A promising prospect. Professor Lambertian knows where you might find the crystal you seek. Corrupted crystals of sufficient size and strength are not all that common, I fear. Fortunately, one of my other students, Sienna, claims to have discovered another promising site in eastern Lenosha. Wait, that's not correct. Eastern Lenosha was where she was nearly killed when wandering too close to an Imperial Castrum. Haha, now that made for an amusing anecdote. It was Western Lenosha, Pharaoh Sirius on the Isles of Umbra to be precise. I can't recall her exact reasoning, something to do with one of Dalamud's talons or some such nonsense. What I can say for certain is that she is still in Aleport attempting to gain access to the Isles. Why not travel there and see if Sienna's inquiries bear fruit? If you can look past the crass and violent ways of the local pirates, you might find your time there to be quite pleasurable. Oh, and do not forget to take your makeshift warded pot, lest she think you unprepared for the task. Corrupted crystals? Madame, I've no interest in being the butt of your jokes, so if you've no other reason for addressing me, kindly leave me be. Well, I'll be damned. Professor Lambertian did send you. Beg your pardon, it seems we got off on the wrong foot. I'm Sienna, greatest of the Professor's pupils, which is doubtless why he bid you seek me out. Indeed, I am an accomplished scholar with an extensive background in... oh god, it's just listening to me prattle on and on. I must have given this introduction a dozen times by now. Money. It's probably not pirates. Sienna is frustrated with the progress of her research. As I told the professor in my many missives, I believe that the area surrounding Pharaoh Sirius is replete with corrupted crystals of exceptional strength. Unfortunately, I have yet to test my hypothesis, as all access to the Isles of Umbra is prohibited at present for reasons unknown to me. You see, my attempts to acquire this information are often met with annoyance and disdain. It's rather puzzling, since I always take the time to explain my motivations in great detail to the subjects of my questioning. That's probably why. Mayhap you'll have better luck wresting information from these yellow jackets. I've all but given up at this point. Ah, you startled me. Don't you know better than to sneak up on a person at a time like this? What with all that fatuous gossip of spirits and specters haunting the Isles of Umbra? Just because I know it's nonsense doesn't make it any less frightening. You're keen on traveling to the Isles of Umbra? Bloody hells, lass, are you drunk or just crazy? Ain't nothing there but death, death, and more death. The Isles of Umbra? What did I just have you in that god-forsaken place? Ever since we were moved to abandon Pharaoh Sirius, the Isles have become not more than a graveyard for ships unable to navigate the shores, and a purgatory for the souls dragged down to the depths with them. Ah, Amber, you've returned. Tell me of your findings. Really? Infested with the undead, you say? That is a very, very interesting development. Excuse me for a moment while I gather my thoughts. Representing the representative. Sienna seems to have regained her composure. Worry not, my friend. I've given your findings some thought, and I've concluded that this talk of spirits is not more than local folklore. As for why all travel to the Isle of Umbra is restricted, well, mayhap it's considered too dangerous, owing to the embadment of Pharaoh Sirius? Yes, well, anyway, while you were questioning those yellow jackets, I paid a visit to the local pub, since even an esteemed scholar like myself enjoys dulling her wits on occasion. It was there that I heard tell of a man named Skyfrin, who was recently detained after returning from, wait for it, the Isles of Umbra. This is the first I've heard of someone actually traveling to and from there, so I'm curious as to how he obtained permission. Mind having a chat with him in my stead? He was arrested, after all, so I'm somewhat reticent to approach him myself. Yeah, if he's arrested, something tells me he didn't actually get permission. Newsflash. I have to go back. She calls to me, sings to me. Tell Mimidoia I'm sorry. Give him this. He was right. Or could you release me? Yes, release me. I will go and tell her. Let me go to her. Someone's lost their marbles. What did Skyfrin have to say? That's not terribly helpful. I couldn't care less how much he misses his favorite bar wench. But what was that about a man named Mimidoa? Wait, I know that name. That's the bastard that grabbed me arse the other day at the pub. Well, if you want to give him that feather, be my guest. I'm not going anywhere near him and his wandering hands. And of course, it's a Lalafell. Another initiate, are ya? No. Then what are ya? Speak up, missy. I can't hear ya. Bugger me. Is that what I think it is? Nah, couldn't be. You found this, you say? Where'd you say you found it? Skyfrin, you say? Was hoping to have a word with the lad, but it sounds like there's not left twixt his ears. He's supposed to help patch up Pharaoh Sirius, he was. Company sent me to supervise the lot of them. Weren't getting work done on their own, see? Half of them walked off, half of them ran off, and half of them up and vanished. What's that? You'd be looking for passage to the Isles of Umbra? Why didn't you say so? I've been thinking of dispatching someone to take a look on behalf of old Mimidoa. And tell him how the land lies. Ain't nobody been interested till you came a-callin'. Whole port's up in arms about spirits and so forth. If I had the gil, I'd hire some sellswords and let 'em sort it out. But you'll do in a pinch. You will. Show this parchment to the skipper and he'll see ya there and back. Go talk to her first. So you went and had a word with Mimidoa. I hope the valuable time you saw fit to waste amounted to something. That's a little rude. You mean that disgusting creature was Skyfrin's superior? I find that hard to believe, but this writ of passage does appear to be genuine, so it must be true. I must say, it is a relief to work with such an industrious woman as you. I look forward to hearing of the discoveries you will make on the Isles of Umbra, without me. The reluctant researcher. Sienna has no desire to journey to the Isles of Umbra. Yeah, because she's a chicken. Fine. I fail to see the justification for dragging me along on your journey, but if you insist, I will go as well. But 12 is my witness. If you leave me behind to be devoured by some horrid abomination, I shall come back to haunt you. Take me to the Isles of Umbra, she beats. As if it's as simple as, oh, I see you've got a rite of passage. All right then, climb aboard. This doesn't seem all that bad. I'm not saying I'd like to build a summer home here, but oh, the hell's with this here. Take your pot and go on without me. You've harvested corrupted crystals before, right? So it isn't as though you require my assistance. Speak to the man guarding the gate. I'm sure he'll let you in. Now, if you would please excuse me. Beg your pardon, madame, but how did you come here? Access to this island is currently restricted. An old pot? I'm not sure I follow. Oh, I see. You wish to harvest a corrupted crystal. Sorry, friend, but you may have to return empty-handed. Sweet somethings. David has a simple proposal for you. The writ Master Mimidoa gave you may grant you access to the island, but only authorized personnel may proceed past this point. Why, you ask? Look up and see for yourself. When the giant mass of crystal struck the lighthouse, it caused severe damage to both the structure and the machinery within that once powered the beacon. Aye, contrary to what the small folk would have you believe, the fires of Ferrociris were not the product of a mage's thermatory or colossal arcane bomb, but an elaborate contraption fueled by ethereal energy. Repairs are still ongoing, but it's anyone's guess when they'll be complete. What's worse, all work has ceased since rumors of the Walking Dead drove off our entire crew. Not that those rumors are incorrect. I've observed the fiends from a distance at the ship graveyard to the south. What's drawn them to our shores is still a mystery, though. I'll make you a deal, Amber. Help me unravel this mystery and I'll bring you your corrupted crystals. In fact, I shall begin searching for one that satisfies your requirements. As for where to begin your inquiries into the situation, it so happens that a party of 3 adventurers came ashore not long ago, seeking to scavenge valuable trinkets at the ship graveyard. I'd be surprised if they knew nothing of the undead infestation, so it might behoove you to question them. It's all there for the taking. 5 bleeding years worth of wrecks in their cargo. But those queer dead things and that voice... Actually, the voice was quite nice. You saw them too, right? Dead people, just shambling about without a care in the world. Except when they do seem to care, that is, and all start shuffling towards the water. Gods, that voice, that single fleeting verse, I can still hear it. Stay clear of the southern shore, friend. It took every ounce of my strength to resist. This talk of an alluring voice is disturbingly familiar, as if... But that's impossible. They're all dead, aren't they? History repeating. David is sweating profusely. But if they have returned, that would mean... Oh, beg your pardon, I was just, thinking about something else. Which reminds me, I received word that Master Mimidoa would be arriving any moment. Apparently, he grew frustrated waiting for the sweet young lass with skin as soft as phoenix down to return. Which I'm assuming is you. I don't know what sort of arrangement you had, but you should probably go and explain yourself. What's been keeping you, Initiate? I ain't getting any younger, you know. Some honey-voiced harlot's been calling out to folk what wandered near the ship graveyard, and it stirred up the dead and all? Bloody hells, this takes me back to me days as a cannon boy, sailing under old Miss Beard. But they wouldn't dare, would they? Not after the lesson we learned 'em last time. Bah, they bloody would. Though, wouldn't they, brazen old biddies? Some folks said as the first purge would be the last, but I knew deep down in my bones as this day would come. and come it as I hide bet me bum ear Siren's behind all this. Nay, not one of the sanguine variety, initiate. I speak of the other kind. Them what's got feathers and lure sailors to a watery grave with their sweet, sweet song. Oh, but it don't end there. No, drowning's just the start. See, even in death a man stays bound to the beast, forced to do her bid until his corpse can't do it no more. 'Tis a fate I wouldn't wish on me worst enemy, except maybe in drink, and I'd regret it after. Anyrow, 'tis up to us to stop this hell's-born hussy afore she takes another soul. Of course we can't send you marching off to war without these. The Siren don't have no power over a man as can't hear her song. 'Tis lucky for you I carry a spare pair, and lucky for the both of us I'm a superstitious old sod, eh? Well, she ain't coming to us, so we'd best head over to her. To the ship graveyard, initiate. If she passes near the shore, she's sure to spy the campfire and come looking. Just a matter of waiting now. I'm beginning to wonder if some sly bugger ain't spun us a yarn here. Quiet, do you hear that? 'Tis her. Look, out over the water. She's come, initiate. She's come. Quick, lass, shove them plugs in your ears and get ready for a fight. Soon as she realizes you're deaf to her ditties, she'll call all on her thralls, and we'll be up to our necks in corpses afore you know it. Hither, embrace mine everything, all. True love spurned, her cruelty's reward. So for the first phase of the fight, she'll spawn ads, just kill them. If you see a orange circle around the ads, get them out of it because it will give them a little buff. For the second phase, she does pretty much all the same thing, but she'll also get these little bubbles with music notes in them, and if they hit you, they do damage. You can avoid them or take them intermittently between having defensive cooldowns up. Spare, mournful mistress, distress. Melody, last breath of death, the rhythm. Dost thou not To relent, regret, forever alone. My love, a river, one look, a soul shiver. No more dark eclipse the heart. Am I alright? I'm better than that, initiate. Happy as a sailor and a... Not saying that word, I am. Of course, I'd be happy as a sailor with 2 whatsits if we'd gutted the songstress, but you can't have everything, can you? She'll not come crooning around here again, though not for a while, any road. And if she does, well, we know what to do, don't we? Thanks for the help, bugger me. I've clearly forgotten your name. Remind me. Amber? Don't recall having no initiate by that name, but if you're not me ol' mate, was name, why have you been so bloody helpful? Never mind. Be seeing you, lassie. You mean it was a siren? But how were you able to resist her song? I see. I had heard that Master Mimidoi was involved in the first purge, but I never actually... Having survived an ordeal like that, I can't blame him for carrying earplugs around with him. Anyway, I have something for you. The corrupted crystal you wanted safely sealed within the pot. Just as you requested. Please, take it with my compliments. We're headed back to Elport. Hop on if you like. Yup. Oh, it's you. Welcome back, Amber. You're looking remarkably hale, I must say, and, more importantly, alive. You are alive, aren't you? This chick's paranoid. Ghost stories. Ooga booga. Aha! The conquering hero returns bearing a gift. Might I have a closer look? Impressive. Very impressive indeed. Yes, I think you'll be quite pleased with the specimen. Congratulations, Amber. Seldom, if ever, have I encountered a corrupted crystal composed of such a volatile overabundance of fire-suspected ether. What? You wanted a corrupted crystal composed of ice-suspected ether to counteract the effects of a raging wind? Well, this specimen won't help you there. Anyone who knows anything about the elements could tell you that. You'll just have to keep looking, I suppose. The Curious Case of Giggity. Sina knows where the corrupted crystal that you seek can be found. Don't fret now, I know exactly where to find a corrupted crystal comprised of I-suspected ether. An associate of mine in Gridania has been studying the effects of one such crystal on living beings. Eh? What's that expression? I thought you'd be pleased to hear this news. This is not another wild Johto chase, I assure you. And what's even better is that this time, you needn't use that warded pot of yours to protect yourself from this crystal's energies. Hayden's findings suggest that it is quite safe. Why, you ask? Well, let's just say that it has undergone a unique process that has rendered such precautions unnecessary. Anyway, do not let me keep you. It has been a pleasure, Amber. Come back and see me sometime, alright? I'll come see you when I'm undead, since clearly you're scared of ghosts. Greetings and salutations, Miss Virgil, I presume. Saint informed me of your adventures in Aleport. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Though, as Professor Lambertian is fond of saying, no action taken in the name of science is ever truly wasteful. To the matter at hand, corrupted crystals possessing the properties you seek could be found in abundance at the standing courses following the calamity. Alas, that is no longer the case, and while there is at least one suitable crystal that remains to be found within the 12swood, precisely where it is at any given moment is more difficult to say. Permit me to explain. You are familiar with Spriggans, yes? The furry little rascals that are wont to seek out ores and other stones? Well, one such creature with an infamously insatiable appetite has single-handedly devoured every corrupt crystal in the 12swood. Fortunate for you, these crystals take an eternity to digest, assuming they even can be digested, and I am reasonably confident that one still resides within his gut. It's quite fascinating, really. My theory is that this Giggity first consumed a corrupted crystal when, you couldn't care less about all this, could you? To the point, then, Giggity seldom makes his presence felt unless there is particularly fine fodder to be had. Therefore, we shall require a lure, and I have precisely the sort he will find impossible to resist. Simply place this true heart. I shall save the story of the origin of its unusual name for another occasion. Outside of the Spriggan's lair and wait for the opportune moment to pounce. As for the method by which you retrieve the crystal from his gut, I shall leave that to your discretion. And these may say 33, but as soon as you start jumping down that hole, they quickly jump up. Investigation of the destination, then we kill the thing and loot its guts, I guess. And back to Gridani I go. They may have booped me, but I have a sharp sword and I can boop harder. Ah, pray do not sneak up on me like that. I was engrossed in... Wait, what is that? What is that god's awful smell? You don't want to know how I got this. My word, this is breathtakingly beautiful crystal. I see my supposition was not mistaken. And I also see you weren't averse to digging through Spriggan entrails for your prize. We owe our furry friend a debt of gratitude. This thick coating of digestive juices protecting us from the harmful effects of the crystal, just as the warded pot you once used did. Why so glum, friend? You finally obtained the corrupted crystal you sought, one overflowing with earth-aspected ether. Calm down, I jest. It is comprised of ice-aspected ether, worry not. I suppose that joke was in poor taste, considering your previous 2 attempts were for naught. Better late than never. Haydn has neglected to return to you your corrupted crystal. Beg your pardon, Amber, I forgot to return your crystal to you. Oh, and there was a message for you from Professor Lambertian, something about a man named Marquis? Apparently the professor misses the intellectual simulation. Forgive me, I should have written it down. It occurs to me that I have yet to ask why you needed that crystal. You aren't planning anything nefarious, are you? 'Twould reflect poorly on me and my research if it were used for evil ends. Well, perhaps it's best I remain ignorant. I didn't become the professor's greatest pupil by filling my head with unnecessary information. They all think they're his greatest pupil. Greetings, do you wish to proceed to your vessel? Yep. All repairs and modifications have been completed, Amber. Once you bring me that crystal, nothing will stand between us and Garuda. Here you go. I'll need to run some tests to be sure, but this looks to be exactly what we need. Worry not, Amber. I'll see that your hard work doesn't go to waste. Okay. The Enterprise is already more than a common airship. But mark my words, soon it will become something greater, something extraordinary. This is for me. This is what I was born to do. Money. Lady of the Vortex. With Sid's modifications now installed, the Enterprise is finally ready to make the journey to the Howling Eye. According to my test, the device is now functioning in perfect harmony with the crystal, which means we can leave whenever you're ready. But you must understand, tests can only tell one so much. Until we approach the Howling Eye, until we attempt to breach the barrier itself, I cannot be sure that this will work. I think it only fair to tell you that there is a small but statistically significant chance that the crystal could trigger a massive, Mayhap it is better that we remain positive. Amber, I want to thank you for reuniting me with my ship, for trusting in me to develop this plan, for everything. You've helped me to rediscover part of myself I'd forgotten. I am not the man I once was, and I do not know if I ever shall be, but I do know one thing. This feels right. My apologies for the sudden outpouring of sentiment. I would have waited until after the mission, but, well, you understand.
There. She's ready.
Ah, she stirs. To Kurthus, and an audience with the Harpy Queen Garuda. Enterprise, engage.
Damn it! I once flew in this airship, and I was not alone. There were adventurers on board. Adventurers like you. Just how long have I worn these damn goggles? Ah, yes, I fancied myself a trendsetter in my younger days. The young prodigy, admired by all, exactly like his father. Born and raised in Garlemald. It was only natural that the precocious young student should become an engineer. Had his father not done the same? Father, when did we stop seeing eye to eye? When did Meteor become your everything, and your loved ones cease to matter? You abandoned us all. But he was there for me, Father. There for me when you were not. Though he proved no better in the end. Gaius was just another man, with an all-consuming obsession. And so I ran, left the Empire behind and came to Eorzea, where I built the ironworks. Ah yes, it was then that I first donned these goggles. Eorzea opened my eyes. It was home to so many manner of people, each with their own hopes and dreams. People worth saving, and so I fought beside them. I wanted to prove that my knowledge could serve a nobler purpose. I wanted to prove that there was another way. And it all began that day when I found my new home. I had forgotten how wonderful it was. The wind in your hair, the endless sky. That light. It was you, wasn't it? It's surprising how few people know this, but all pureblood Garleans have a third eye. Perhaps mine helped me recognize you, or perhaps it was just a lucky guess. The Enterprise was made for this. To carry Eorzea's protectors into battle. I am proud to be able to call her my own.
Sid? What exactly do you remember?
Alphinaud, my boy. Sorry to have been such a burden. I remember everything. My name, my people, and my purpose. Everything. Come, it would be rude to keep Garuda waiting.
All our efforts, all our travails, all of it was for this. Make ready, Amber, for the end is nigh. But be it hers or our own. Howling Eye. Let's see if I can do this as a healer. Who dares intrude upon my sanctuary? Your insolence shall not go unpunished, landwalkers. "12 preserve, she's huge. As I live and breathe. Over there, look. Amalja and Cobalt prisoners. But why would the XL bring them here? Wherefore come you hither, foolish mortals? Garuda, we are come to put an end to your reign of terror. Hear ye this blasphemy, my children? These landwalkers would bring me low. You who are bound to crawl upon the earth should revere me, for I am the wind. Did we not take to the skies and slip your defenses? We are bound by nothing, Garuda. You think your playthings give you strength? They will not help you here, Landwalker. This is my realm, where none can challenge my supremacy. Struggle though you may. I shall slake the roots with your blood and festoon the canopy with your entrails. Insert maniacal laughter. Slay the unfeathered ones we shall, as an offering to Garuda they will serve. Leave the Ixal to us, Amber. We will keep them distracted while you deal with her. Do not fail, Amber. Remember, you fight for the Scions, for Eorzea, for MSQ progression, for the experience, for trying not to let my team die. This worm would die by mine own hand. Come, then, I shall grant you that which you seek. Now the basics for this fight is tank, make sure to keep her faced away from the rocks because any cleave damage she does will damage the rocks. Sometimes she will bring feathers forth to also do damage to the rocks, just AoE those down. The first time she flies up, hide behind a rock because she's about to do a cleave damage in front of her and the rocks protect you from that. Second time she flies up, no worries. Third time she flies up, just hope that all the rocks are still there. Other than that, it's a pretty easy fight for the first phase. You see she flies up, so we hide behind the rocks. When she latches back onto the tank, she will summon a large group of feathers directly beneath her. Just AoE these down. These are going to be your tightest grouping of feathers. And don't pull a me and get distracted reading chat instead of paying attention to the fact that you need to stay away from the boss's front if you're a healer. For phase 2, she'll do more of her spinning kick AoEs, and she'll also create a storm around the middle that will push you back towards the middle if you step into it. No, no, no! Wait, how in the hells? This is my realm. You have no hope here. None, none. Did you truly believe you could defy a god, Landwalkers? I thought you said you'd take care of the Ixal. Are they still alive? My power is limitless, my children legion, and they have rendered unto me a wealth of crystals. Their gifts sustain me, their faith empowers me. None save my children will escape the reckoning, mortals, and those who would use my crystals to waken the rest shall realize the folly of their faith. Then we all shall worship none but me, the one true God. Maniacal laughter here. Of course, worship! So long as the Ixal keep praying, she will never fall. Then let's stop them. Ugh. Maniacal laughter. No harm will come to you, my children. This is only the beginning, Landwalkers. All who oppose me shall suffer for their defiance. Soon the worms of the forest shall receive my judgment. The desert vermin next. Their walls of stone will not shield them from the tempest. And then will I take vengeance on the sea lice. Their wooden boats cannot outrun the wind. Tremble, mortals, for I shall visit you all in time, and all shall be mine, all mine. You, Landwalker, you who dare to raise your hand against me, you shall be the first to pay for your sins, not with your death, but with your life. You will serve me, Landwalker, to your last breath. No, no, I claimed you. You should be mine. What are you? What have you done to me? No mortal should possess such power. This is impossible.
Why do you not tremble at my might? Why do you not beg for mercy? Why do you not die? We've done it! Ah! Impossible it is!
Kill you all! Is that all? O Lady of the Vortex, O mighty Garuda, of all primals the most terrible, I say again, is that all?
Gaius!
Ah, Sid, my boy, you look well, for one who has forsaken kin and country. I wonder what else you will forsake before the day is done.
What?
What exactly did you hope to accomplish here this day? Well, I shall accomplish far more.
Is that all? Is that all? Insolent mortal! I shall make you suffer! That foul stench! I see now. She has touched you! Very well.
Seven hells, does she still mean to fight?
Our Lord of the Inferno, Almighty Ifrit, brought us succor in our hour of need.
Save us, Titan, Lord of Crags! It hurts us so! The pain! The pain!
What is she? 12 preserve. She cannot mean to... No. No, this is all wrong!
Stop gawping, boy! We must run!
Surrender yourselves unto me! I would feast upon your ether! None shall stand against the wind!
Bear witness to the glory of the Empire! It is you who will suffer, Garuda. Ancient Eleg had ways of dealing with your kind. Now, look on their ultimate weapon, Icon, and despair.
No! No! No!
Magnificent. It exceeds all expectation.
With each primal it consumes, it grows more powerful. A marvel, is it not?
Such is the fate of those who oppose the Empire. There will be no warriors of light to save you this time. If your leaders are as wise as they are reported, they will surrender. Your skills are impressive, but they will not be enough.
XII, have mercy! What chance have we against such an ungodly creation? And who was that armored devil?
That was Gaius van Balsar, legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion and Supreme Commander of the Garlean invasion force in Eorzea.
Of course, the Black Wolf! How could I not realize? Grandfather mentions him in his journal.
I was never so naive as to think the man would abandon his ambitions. But these developments are beyond my worst expectations. What have you been doing these past 5 years? How could something of this magnitude have escaped the Alliance's attention?
We heard no whispers, saw no signs. In the wake of the calamity, the Empire seized land and built outposts, but that was the extent of their aggression.
Damn it, Gaius! Where in the seven hells did you find that thing?
It has been a day of unexpected developments, but the fact remains, Garuda is no longer a threat. While I take no comfort in the manner of her downfall, it does mean that we may safely put the matter of the primals to one side, for the time being at least.
Which just leaves the matter of Gaius's new toy.
Indeed. That weapon poses the greatest threat to Eorzea. It must be destroyed. But first, we must needs find out all we can. Let us make for Vesper Bay. We shall rebuild the Scions. All is not yet lost, my friend, for we bear the light. then shall surely lead our people from the darkness.
Well, that was an experience I would rather not have again. Something has been troubling me, Amber. Shortly before the Black Wolf took center stage, when Garuda attempted to claim you as your own, I could have sworn I saw... but I'm sure I was mistaken. In times of great stress, the evidence of the eye is apt to be misread, and by even the most inquiring mind. Forget I mentioned it. Returning to the subject of our earlier discussion, we may consider the matter of the primals closed until further notice. No beast tribe will dare summon their god so long as that weapon exists. Truly a more effective deterrent I could not imagine. It almost seems a shame to plot its destruction. Money. Reclamation. Alphino is ready to return to the Waking Sands. It is past time that we return to the Waking Sands. To leave our headquarters in disrepair any longer would be to dishonor the memory of those who fell there. We have been brought to our knees, but we will rest, rebuild, and rise once more. Pray return to the Waking Sands. Tell me, Amber, does aught here strike you as odd? I see signs of recent habitation. Could it be that we have trespassers? Mayhap it's just my imagination. Come, let us proceed into the cellar. Money. Wait. Who goes there? Now, Yida, is that any way to greet a friend? Alphino, Amber. Sid. Wait, is this a dream? Not that I'm aware of. It's been a while, Yida. I don't believe it. I was sure you'd been... This place has seen better days. You know, I wasn't actually here when I was still in talks at the Adder's Nest. The first I knew about it was when I came back and I saw... Ida. The church had taken care of the bodies, but that still left the stains. It was hard to know where to start, if Y'shtola hadn't been here to help me. Y'shtola is here too? Yes, but she's not here right now. She's gone to Ulda to meet a man who might know what happened to the others. Papalimo and Minfilia weren't among the dead, according to the church. Y'shtola thinks they were taken somewhere. Upon the orders of the Black Wolf, no doubt. Why would he want them? Because they possess something he desires, knowledge of another power that can be brought to bear against the primals, one that Gaius has yet to harness. The Echo. Gaius will be aware of its existence, as well as the immunity it grants the gifted to the primal's influence. Powerful though his Allegan weapon may be, he would doubtless desire such protection. He means to use Minfilia to gain an understanding of the Echo, none of which explains how the Empire came to know the location of the Waking Sands in the first place. No matter, the Empire has shown its hands and now we must act. It is up to us to rebuild the Scions and save Eorzea. Can I count on you, Ida? What? Oh, yes, of course. Whatever you need. We can discuss our next move upon Y'shtola's return. For now, I say we rest.
Hear, feel, think. Bringer of light, brave gatherer of the crystals, thy soul burneth bright. I am Hydaelyn, all made one. Hearken unto me now, for the darkness doth begin to spread. Wear thee the bearer of the crimson brand, for he is the avatar of shadow, whom death attendeth always. The crystals shall be thy salvation, thy blade and shield both. Steel thyself, for at the appointed hour thou shalt stare into the heart of darkness. Go with caution, my child, but fear not, for I am ever with thee.
Y'shtola! Amber, I see you in Elfinor is safe, and Sid? That we five should meet each other thus defies simple explanation. It is as if the benevolent hand of Master Louis Sois guides us still. He would not see us undone so easily, not now, when the need is so great. I know where Minfil and the others are being held. Where? An Imperial stronghold in the heart of Mordona, Castrum Centri. Casing the Castrum, Y'shtola wishes to discuss the fate of the prisoners being held at Castrum Centri. The rescue of our allies will be no small undertaking, Amber. Even under normal circumstances, breaching the defenses of an Imperial Castrum would be a highly dangerous proposition. But now that the Castrum Centri house prisoners, whom the Garleans deem valuable, we may be confident that they have taken additional measures to ensure the stronghold's security. If we are to free our friends, we will require an effective strategy. And if we are to formulate an effective strategy, we will require intelligence. I believe I know a man who may be able to assist us in this. Lord Portelaine of House Durandare. He is stationed at the Observatorium in Kurthus. Let us go to him and beseech his aid. Okay. Yay, stairs! Ah, Amber, the woman who unmasked the heretic in our midst. To what do we owe the pleasure of your company? You're an associate of Y'shtola? Ah, but of course. Lord Drillmaw confided to me that you were a scion of the Seventh Dawn. Give me money. Castrum Centri? What interest have you in the Imperials? They hold several of our number whom we intend to free. Any information you can provide would be greatly appreciated. I see. That might explain our scouts' reports. They observe 4 prisoners being led into the Castrum. A Hyrule woman, an Elysian man, and 2 Lalafels, 1 male and 1 female. It's them. It has to be. Minfilia, Orionge, Pablimo, and Tataru. If that scant morsel is of use to you, you may also be interested to hear about a more recent incident. Incident? An Imperial airship made an emergency landing here in Kurthis not long ago. 2 men believed to be prisoners, a Rogadin and a Lalafell, were seen fleeing the craft. What did you say? A Rogadin and a Lalafell, Master Garland. Neither wore Imperial dress, and both seemed disinclined to wait for rescue. Hence our assumption that they were prisoners. Well, I'll be damned. It's Biggs and Wedge. Trust those 2 rascals to escape. We must find them, Amber, and soon. The Imperials will not rest until they are captured or killed, and if Biggs were given the choice, I fear he'd take the latter. Freeing those held in Castrum Centri will require substantial planning and preparation. As such, it is an endeavor that will admit some slight delay. The matter of the escapees, by contrast, will not. Shortly after the prisoners vacated the airship, our scouts observed Imperial troops setting off in the pursuit. It is likely only a matter of time before they catch them. If you wish to see your comrades again, you had best act now. If, as has been suggested, the Garleans took our fellow Scions prisoner in the hopes of understanding the Echo, it seems reasonable to assume that they will not be executed until such time as the study is complete. But Biggs and Wedge are not Scions, nor do they know aught of the Echo. As Lord Portalaine said, this may prove our only chance to rescue them. I say we seize it. Thank you, everyone. You won't regret this. Yeah, because we're going to be using your airship a lot. Final preparations are almost complete, my lord. There stands the culmination of 5 long years of painstaking work, but all our efforts will be vindicated when the Emperor's vision becomes reality. At last, we have the power to purge this land of its false gods. We shall give the ignorant children of Eorzea the security and stability they so desperately crave, and which their spineless leaders have so palpably failed to provide. As you say, my lord, rest assured, our engineers will not rest until the weapon is fully armed and operational. Ritatan, you depart for Castrum Occidens at midnight. You will command the western front in Wildbrand. The Eorzeans will attempt to interfere with our plans. You will see that they do not. My lord, if this be your will, I shall carry it out to the best of my ability. I live only to serve the Empire. Yet, forgive my prudence, but is it proper to give command of half our forces to a... I have given you nothing, Praefectus. You have earned it. That will be all. Dismissed. Yes, my lord. My quarters. 1 hour. Eyes on the Empire. Lord Portelaine would like to aid in your search for Biggs and Wedge. My purpose here is to reconnoiter Garlean activity along Abalthiel's spine. Owing to this, I have the honor of being acquainted with Y'shtola. Now, the report of the Imperial airship's emergency landing came to us by way of Desmil Darkhold, situated to the west. Our man stationed at the entrance, a knight named Briselt, may be able to tell you more, so as to expedite your mission, I shall furnish you with a letter of introduction. I pray that you will soon be reunited with your comrades. May the Fury grant you strength. Okay. This way. You stand before Desmil Darkhold, a subterranean fortress excavated by the great Ishgardian house of the same name. None but authorized personnel may enter. Here's a letter. A letter from Lord Portelaine? So you have come about the Imperial airship. According to our scouts, the vessel had scarce touched the ground when a pair of men, captives by all accounts, burst forth and bolted. Imperial soldiers have since been sighted in the area seeking to recapture them. What? The captains are like to be your friends, you say? Then let us pray that they are yet a step ahead of their pursuers. The emergency landing reportedly took place near the Oran Vale, situated south and west of here. I suggest you take your search there. Seek out a knight named Paramons. He should be able to assist you. Pierre-Mons. The Imperial airship? Aye, I saw it approach to land with mine own 2 eyes. I hastened to the landing site, arriving just in time to see the vessel take to the skies again, but not before it had deployed a detachment of troops. Gruff orders were being barked, and there was an air of consternation about them. Give me money. Footprints in the snow. Sir Pierre-Mons wants to share with you what he knows of the 2 fugitives. There were prisoners aboard the airship, it seems, and they seized the opportunity to flee when the vessel was forced to land. The Garleans who were deployed formed search parties and proceeded to scour the wilderness. In order to alert our forces, I returned to my post. To find evidence that someone had been here in my absence. Whoever they were, they tried the door to no avail and decided to go elsewhere. In all, I marked 2 sets of footprints, one large and one small. If you search the area, mayhap you'll be able to follow the prints to their owners. Little ones. More little ones. I mean, I know they're leading to the bridge, it's just it won't let me finish it out if I don't. There we are. Now we see he's under the bridge. Hi, wee one. Brr, so cold. I want to go home. Hey, what's up, Knuckle Little? Wah! Please don't eat me. I'm not nearly as succulent as I look. It's all skin and bones underneath, I swear. Amber, it's you. Thank goodness you're here. It's been awful. The Garleans were snapping at our heels like a hungry pack of wolves. I was so hell's bent on evading them, I almost ran headlong into a monster's gaping maw. Thrice! And when I finally found cover, it hit me how cold and hungry I was. Biggs? He isn't here. He went off in a different direction to lure our pursuers away. It's me, Sid. Have you had any success? Yeah, I found the short one. Track down Wedge? That's wonderful news. Now, what are Biggs? No idea. I see. Well, it hardly surprises me that the big fellow went off as he did. For all the tongue lashings he gives Wedge, he's always taken care of him. I've scoured the areas surrounding the Darkhold, but have nothing to show for it. At any rate, we know for a fact that Biggs headed west. With both Yida and Y'shtola helping out, I'm sure he'll turn up soon. Now then, I'll make my way over to your position while keeping an eye out for Biggs. If memory serves, there should be an Ishgardian fortification not far to your west, Monument Tower, I believe it's called. Let us meet there. Dare I hope, was that Master Garland you spoke with? Yep. After 5 long years. Thank goodness he's alive. I'm feeling better now, Amber. Let's go to Monument Tower and wait for the chief to arrive. Yay, stairs. Well met and welcome, adventurer. What brings you to this frozen corner of the realm? This short thing. Oh, it would seem your companion has caught a chill. Come and warm yourself by the fire. I will bring you a hot broth. How are we feeling now, then? Stay here as long as you need. The same goes for you, friend. 'Tis plain you have a hard journey ahead of you. You must find rest when you can. Okay. Monumental hopes. Wedge is gravely concerned for his missing companion. I'm fine now, thanks to you, but I can't bear to think that Biggs is still all alone in the cold with Garleans on his heels. He lured the enemy away for my sake, and now he's suffering for it. I hate to have to rely on you again, Amber, but do you think you could search for Biggs? I haven't the slightest notion where he might be at the moment, but maybe, just maybe, the people here have seen something. Oh, it's just right behind me, never mind. A Rogan gentleman dressed in the same manner as your companion? I'm sorry, but he did not come by here. Let me think a moment. I would not raise your hopes unduly, but there is a cave situated a short distance to the south. We call it the Fury's Gaze, and it may be worth a while to investigate. I make the suggestion only because your friend seems like a selfless sort. Rather than drawing the enemy to this tower, mayhap he elected to pass us by. Well, time to kill all the things and then go back and tell her she was wrong. Amber, were you able to learn anything? Not in this area. Well, that stands to reason, I suppose, seeing as he was trying to lure the Garleans away from me. But where within this vast sea of snow and ice could he be? Notorious Biggs. Wedge is determined to find Biggs. We can't give up, Amber. We must find Biggs before he succumbs to the cold or is recaptured. There must be someone in this tower who can help us, even if it's only to tell us where else to look. Ask them for me. Ask anyone who'll listen, and hurry! Biggs' chance of survival grows slimmer by the moment. Your friend is lost in the wilderness, you say? If he's not to be found anywhere here in the vicinity of the Darkhold, it is possible he made for Whitebrim. To reach it, one must travel through Danafin Pass, the southern end of which lies to the mountain and east of here. While I make no guarantee that your search will bear fruit, it is surely better than worrying in idleness. I wish you luck. Oh, and one more thing. Do tread warily when climbing the stairs here. Not a moon ago, I near broke my neck when I slipped and took a tumble. Took a tumble, you say? Like this? On a little side note as fun facts for this area, there is an S rank you can get to spawn by taking fall damage. And you'll know an S rank spawns when it says, "You sense a powerful mark." Okay. Our orders are to take you back dead or alive. Which will it be, engineer? Why don't you come and find out, Tinhead? Amber, it is well that you are here. The situation is grave. Biggs is in a bad way. We need to do something right now. Yida has the right of it. He will perish if we delay. With me. He's not alone. Kill them all. If I kill you first. My thanks. Another moment and I would have... He has been too long in the cold. We must find shelter for him. Here's my hand. Monument Tower, you say? Very well, Yeet, and I shall bear him there with all haste. Sid will be so happy to see Biggs and Wedge again. Aw, I love reunions. Unless you're in Final Fantasy VII. And then it's creepy, and then it's Ascians in robes. My god, Final Fantasy VII has Ascians. With numbers tattooed on them. Changed my mind. I cannot thank you enough, Amber, and the same goes for the rest of you. Thank you all so much. Aw, don't mention it. We are a family, are we not? Well, yeah, it's just, I don't think I'd ever see him again. I owe the lot of you my life. And you saved Wedges too, Amber. I'm losing count of how many I owe you. Biggs, Wedge, God, it's good to see the two of you again. Sheev, it's really you. In our hearts we knew you were still alive, but to finally see you in the flesh. When Alphino told me of the raid on the Waking Sands, I feared the worst. What happened? The enemy struck with nary a warning. We didn't stand a chance. Wedge and I were in the workshop when they came. Before we knew what was happening, the Imperials had us at gunpoint. It must have been awful. There's one thing I don't understand, though. How did the Garleans get there so fast? I mean, the Immortal Flame should have seen them coming, right? I myself asked the same question. That day when I returned to the carnage of the Waking Sands, I noted not a mist in horizon, nothing at all suggests the passing of an Imperial force. From this I concluded that the Garleans came neither by land nor by air. Nay, they were born there by potent teleportation magics. Magics of the kind used by the Ascians. Carry on. We were bound and blindfolded and bundled into the cargo bay of a waiting airship. I can't rightly say how long we were aboard, but when the time came for us to disembark, we found ourselves in the midst of an Imperial stronghold. Castrum Centri. Upon arrival, we were marched off into the main complex. Biggs and I were thrown into a detainment center together, while Minfili and the others were taken elsewhere. That was the last we heard of them. Castrum Centri. What happened next? Well, we were held in isolation for what felt like years, but was probably moons, or maybe only weeks. And then, without warning, the Imperials collected the pair of us and put us on another vessel, which we found out was bound for Garlemald, much to our dread. We knew that if we were taken back there, we weren't like to leave again. So risky though it was, we sabotaged the ship's altitude control and thereby forced an emergency landing, and in the midst of the ensuing chaos, we managed to slip our captors. The rest, as they say, is history. If I didn't know any better, I'd call that a likely story. Sabotaging the altitude controls of an airborne vessel? That will have been Biggs' handiwork, like as not. You always were resourceful in a tight spot, my friend. Amber, thank you for returning my dear assistance to me. It would seem I owe you yet another debt of gratitude. There are still many questions in my mind, but the answers can wait. Minfili and the others still want for rescue. All right, you lot. Garland Ironworks is back in business. Let's go and give the Imperials what for. Hurrah! Come into my Castrum. Sid wants to prepare a strategy to rescue Minfilia and the other Scions. Thanks to you, Biggs and Wedge are with us again. Now we must find a way to rescue Minfilia and the others. Gods, no, we've kept them waiting too long already. Based on what we've learned, I believe it's safe to say they're being held at Castrum Centri. So let us convene at Revenant's Toll in Mordona. 'Tis as good a place as any to prepare, and better than most. The road leading east, then south, will get you there. When we arrive, let us seek the advice of the local adventurers. We're bound to learn a thing or two that will benefit our mission. Okay. Way east. Well met, friend. What brings you to Revenant's Toll? Did I hear you rightly? Your friends are being held at Castrum Centri and you want to rescue them? I don't mean to discourage you, but that might prove difficult. The stronghold has been on high alert of late, with armored patrols seen about the perimeter around the clock. Not even a fly could get in with 100 yalms of the walls undetected. If the Garleans were alerted to our coming, we cannot know what they will do to Minfilia and the others. We must act with greatest of stealth. Aye, it has to be good old-fashioned infiltration. But with security so tight, how are we going to smuggle ourselves in? Why, I have a mind to walk through the front door. Huh? The front door? Aye, we'll disguise ourselves as Imperial troops and march right in. For this, we'll need a few sets of Imperial uniforms, a suit of Magitech armor, and impeccable timing. That's a bold strategy, but it just might work. Where we are, there's certainly no shortage of opportunities to borrow the equipment. Knowing those Imperial bastards, they won't even suspect that we savage Eorzeans would think to use their technology. Then it's settled. If you're determined to go ahead with this, I'd recommend you speak with Clement. The fellow's got a personal grudge against the Empire and happens to know a deal about Castrum Centri besides. I've no doubt that he'd want to be a part of aid. Yida and I shall go to reconnoiter Garlean activity at the stronghold. It would not do if something were to befall our comrades before we had the chance to act. Come and join us when you're ready, Amber. Let's do this. Sometimes I wonder, Yida, are there ever times when you are not enthused? I'm nothing if not enthusiast, Tola, and you're beginning to remind me of Papa Limo. Looking for Glamont, are you? Well, you found him, whoever you are. You're looking to get inside Castrum Centri and you need my help? Something tells me we're gonna get along just fine. Getting even with Garlemald. Glamont would like to aid in your mission to rescue the captured Scions. So, you have friends at Castrum Centri what need want for rescue? That Slathborn knows me too well. Aye, you can count on my help. I've got a score to settle with them Imperials, and I never pass on an opportunity to get back at the Horsons. But enough about me, let's talk about strategy. Rescuing folk from captivity's right delicate business. A single oversight, just one little blunder, and it's all over. You can't leave any room for uncertainty. For starters, you need to confirm beyond the shadow of a doubt that your friends are where you think they are. You don't want to risk your neck only to discover they've been moved elsewhere. But how can you find out, you ask? By following these instructions. If you approach Centri from the east, you'll see a swampland to your left called the Tangle. Get in there, never mind all the marbles, and navigate your way to the southwestern corner. You'll come upon some drainage pipes coming down from the stronghold. Don't ask me how I know, but one of them leads up to the command tower. If you listen closely, might as you can eavesdrop on some of the happenings within. Once we know for certain your friends are there, we'll move for the next stage of the operation. Now get going, and Godspeed. Hey Darkly, how's it going? The faint sound of conversation echoes down the pipe. What of the captive? Does she still refuse to speak? She may as well be a deaf mute for all the information we've gotten out of her. The others aren't much better. The Ellison gets on my nerves most of all. Every time he opens his mouth, it's only to spout gibberish. I do wonder, why is the Tribunus so obsessed with this Minfilia woman? They say she possesses some mystical power, something we Garleans don't have. Mystical power, like the kind the beastmen use? How am I supposed to bloody know? If you're curious, why don't you ask the Tribunus yourself? As well try to tumble her. I like my head where it is, thank you very much. Our break is over. Best we get back to our stations. The footfalls grow fainter until all go silent. It's good to see you again, Amber. I'm given to understand you have conducted some reconnaissance. Tell me, what were you able to learn? So Minfilia and the others are indeed at Castrum Centri. Their presence thus confirmed me to proceed with the mission. While you were afield, Sid took the liberty of devising a plan of action. Pray, have the details from him. Good work, Amber. As Alphino has already told you, we plotted out a course for the rescue. The gist of this is unchanged. We disguise ourselves as Imperial soldiers and infiltrate the stronghold. Lamont is working into ways to procure pseudo-magitek armor. In the meantime, I need your assistance for some preparation of my own. Minfilia and others are counting on us, Amber. Let's not keep them waiting any longer than necessary. Drowning out the voices, Sid requires your assistance for his rescue preparation. While Lamont goes about devising his plan, we need to see some preparation of our own. It wouldn't do if the Imperials will discover that we're short on armor. To prevent this from happening, I'm going to put together a makeshift communications jamming device. The explanation is like to get a bit technical, so bear with me. Imperial forces communicate at a distance via electromagnetic waves. Simply put, voices are borne upon etheric lightning energy that permeates the air. Now, the hill-sized cluster of corrupted crystals to the west has been observed to amplify the self-same energy. By making use of this property, we should be able to drown out Imperial voices. To ensure that we have enough amplification, we must identify the most potent crystals among the cluster. For this, I need you to go there and use this device to take readings. I'll mark the likely places on your map. Oh, and just so you know, the plasmoids are drawn to lightning energy. Don't be surprised if you run into a few. You have the readings? Excellent. Here, let me see the numbers. Here's a box. Yes, 4 of these crystals should suit our purpose, though I pray that we won't have need of their power. My thanks, Amber. Acting the part. Clement wants you to practice the part of Imperial Trooper. Clean the wax out of your ears now, because there's something I want to do by way of preparation. The plan's to have you enter Castrum Centri all decked out in Imperial duds, but a disguise is more than just the clothes you're wearing. You gotta act the part. At the very least, you need to know how to perform the convincing Imperial salute. First impressions are everything, as they say. I could teach you the salute myself, of course, but it's best you learned it from the experts. So go get yourself near as you dare to Castrum Centri and watch the Imperials doing what they do. So go to Castrum, kill some stuff, learn some stuff, come back. Got it. Nothing to report, sir. We have received an anonymous warning that insurgent forces are near. We must redouble our vigilance. I shall recommend that patrols be increased. So, did you manage to learn the Imperial salute? No. Best you don't demonstrate. I'm liable to fly into a rage and crack skulls. I'll just take your word for it. Dressed for conquest. Sark Malark wishes to help you acquire the disguises you need for your rescue mission. You are called Amber, yes? I have heard of your plight from my friend Glomot. As a fellow adventurer and son of Eorzea both, I would offer you my assistance. In order to infiltrate Castrum Centri, you and your comrades must disguise yourselves as Imperial soldiers. The question is how to go about acquiring the uniforms and helms. There are places a man might purchase them, but individuals who deal in such wares are not the sort to whom you would entrust your secrets. It would be more prudent, I believe, to procure what you need via traditional means from the bodies of their recently deceased owners. The fortified area before Castrum Centri never lacks for Imperial patrols. It ought not take long to obtain 3 sets of gear, one for each member of the infiltration team, Biggs, Wedge, and yourself. When you have what you need, please return here and allow me to inspect the spoils. So go to Castrum, defeat a bunch of Imperials, relieve them of their unneeded clothing, come back. Got it. Oh no, one more. We're able to tame 3 sets of Imperial equipment? Yep. They might be a little bloody, though. Damage, as I had suspected. In their present condition, I fear these uniforms and helms are like to draw suspicion. They must be repaired, if only superficially. Fortunately, the blacksmith Eganolf at the Diamond Forge in Arena's House of Splendor should be able to hammer them into shape in no time. I've already sent word ahead and have been assured that he is expecting you. Worry not, we have already impressed upon him the need for utmost secrecy as to the nature of your mission. Have a very nice day. So you're the venture Sark Malark sent, are ya? I've been waiting for you. Now, let's see what you got for me. Very bloody and maybe I had a few stab wounds in them. Sorry. I see. Ah, yes, I reckon I can hammer these back into shape for you. After all, I owe your friend Sark Malark a favor or two. Took good care of old Eganoff back in the days before I fell in with old Rowena, he did. Did you know he's the son of one of the wealthiest families in the Sultanate? Wouldn't expect someone like that to end up in the life he did, but I suppose he always felt the venture life calling him. But here I go, blabbering on when there's work to be done. Just hold your house birds for a moment or two, and the great Eganoff will have your gear looking good as new. Yes, please, hammer my cloth outfits back together properly. I'd appreciate that. And there you have it. Won't do you much good in battle, mind you, but from what I hear, that's not your priority anyhow. Do send Sark Malark my regards, will you? Anyway, this is a good place to leave off, so thank you for joining me for this installment of my Final Fantasy XIV story playthrough. I hope it was enjoyable, aside from my poor job at voice acting. As always, feel free to give feedback in the comments below or just to say hi. I may not respond, but I do read all my comments. Feel free to follow the links to my socials below and drop by Twitch to say hi. Tap that sub button if you want to see what I'm up to on YouTube, and as always, thanks for watching, and I hope you all take care. I hope to see you guys for the next video, and until then, stay safe and ciao.